To understand why the Fleetrite line of heavy-duty coolants is the best coolant technology in the business, you need to understand how coolant reduces heat and protects the engine, and how engines and coolants have evolved. Since the beginning, combustion engines have needed cooling systems to dissipate heat. At first, this was done with a radiator filled with plain water. Water has a tremendous ability to transfer heat, but it freezes in cold climates. To solve the problem of freezing, the industry eventually settled on blending ethylene glycol to create an antifreeze mixture. The industry's next challenge was that the water in antifreeze corrodes the metal parts of an engine, so corrosion inhibitors were added to the antifreeze mixture to protect the engine. The glycol in the coolant can last for an extended period, but the corrosion inhibitors deplete over time, leaving the engine unprotected from corrosive damage. So, the last great challenge for antifreeze was how to extend the corrosion protection. Heavy-duty engines compared to automotive engines go more than 10 times as far in a year, have an expected vehicle life of 1 million miles, have 7 times the gross vehicle weight per horsepower, and a cooling system that has 5 times the volume. These additional factors put stresses on the coolant and create unique challenges in maintaining proper coolant chemistry. With more than 40% of heavy-duty vehicle downtime coming from poor coolant or poor maintenance, this is a critical issue for fleet managers and heavy-duty owner-operators. And it all comes down to the corrosion inhibitors in the coolant. Without the proper levels of corrosion inhibitors, 4 engine maintenance issues can occur: cavitation, corrosion, scale, and the creation of green goo. Corrosion is mostly due to the water in the antifreeze coming in contact with metal when the corrosion inhibitors are depleted. The second maintenance issue is scale, which happens when hard water salts and tap water combine with corrosion inhibitors and begin to coat the engine. This scale seals in heat and can reduce the heat transfer of the cooling system by 40%. Another maintenance issue is green goo, which is formed when too much SCA is added over time, forcing silicates and phosphates out of solution. One of the most damaging maintenance issues is cavitation, which pits the wet sleeve liner when the corrosion inhibitors fail to protect the metal. This damage happens because, as the piston pounds away inside the liner contracts and expands in microscopic vibrations, causing air bubbles to form and implode against the liner. These air bubbles can actually bore holes straight through the metal, allowing coolant to flow into the engine block. Perforation of the liner because of this pitting is one of the most costly repairs in heavy-duty engine maintenance. Because of these 4 problems, the industry is moving away from conventional green coolant to fully formulated and extended life coolants, like Fleetrite fully formulated SCA pre-charged coolant and Fleetrite nitrite-free and NOAT extended life coolants. Use of green antifreeze in heavy-duty applications is becoming obsolete because the protection from these chemicals is short-lived and requires regular maintenance by adding supplemental coolant additives, or SCAs. Continual topping off with water or green antifreeze requires more SCA to try to keep the system in balance. But the reality is that this practice leads to an inexact mixture of several new chemicals with the existing antifreeze. This can result in a poor blend of chemicals that fails to properly protect the engine. An alternative to the addition of SCAs is to use a fully formulated coolant, like Fleetrite fully formulated SCA pre-charged coolant, which stands out from the competition because of the unique blend and quality of its corrosion inhibitors that contains the SCA or nitrite at the proper level. Fleetrite fully formulated SCA pre-charged coolant technology reduces maintenance and improves the operational lifespan of diesel engine components in heavy-duty vehicles around the world. Fleetrite fully formulated SCA pre-charged coolant is easy to maintain, since using it and topping off with it maintains the proper balance of all inhibitors and supplemental coolant additives. When heavy-duty engines leave the factory, they either contain a fully formulated SCA pre-charged or extended life coolant. That's why more fleet managers and OEMs are now turning to the new extended life coolant technology in Fleetrite nitrite-free and NOAT extended life coolants. These coolants are good for hundreds of thousands of miles with no SCA or extender required. Failing to switch to an extended life coolant means shortened maintenance intervals or an unprotected engine. To achieve this extended life, Fleetrite nitrite-free and NOAT extended life coolants use the latest scientific advancement in corrosion inhibitors, organic acid technology, or OAT. Organic acid technologies prevent corrosion in a whole new way. These chemicals protect the engine for a very long time without needing to be recharged or refreshed. Fleetrite extended life coolants are guaranteed the NOAT extended life coolant for 750,000 miles and the more robust nitrite-free extended life coolant for 1,000,000 miles. And both are compatible with all OAT technologies. They are even compatible with conventional green and pink coolant and are effective even when Fleetrite extended life coolants are only 75% of the total coolant in the system. With conventional antifreeze, the metal is protected by creating a thick layer of insoluble metal inhibitor salts, which limits the transfer of heat from the metal to the coolant. Fleetrite extended life coolant's protective layer of carboxylates protect in a way that does not wear out and rarely needs to be replenished, because their protective properties specifically target corrosive sites instead of thickly coating the entire surface. The difference in heat transfer rate is as much as 8% better with Fleetrite extended life coolants. The Fleetrite extended life coolant formula has approvals from the industry's biggest players and meets all major industry specifications. An extended life coolant may seem more expensive initially, but over the life of the antifreeze and the engine, the cost benefits are obvious. These savings come from improved component life, better heat transfer, excellent corrosion protection, hot surface protection, and slower corrosion inhibitor depletion. Fleetrite's extended life coolants save you money by eliminating the cost of adding SCAs, reducing downtime for maintenance, and improved operational lifespan of costly engine components. Around the world and across the country, Fleetrite's line of heavy-duty coolants is the trusted brand for mines, fleets, municipalities, and anyone who cares about protecting their investment in heavy-duty engines.